Hello and welcome back. This is Marisol. Today I am sharing my October Project Life pages, and before I do that I'm going to show you the kit that I will be using for the month. As always, it is the Allie Edwards Stories by the Month kit, and let me just take everything out of the pouch before I show you what's in there. I've really enjoyed these kits thoroughly. I mean, I've been a subscriber since January or February of 2018, and this year I've used every kit every month, and I'm so impressed at the value of this kit. Alright, let's start with the 4x6 cards. So as always, you get 4 of the 4x6 cards. I love the color palette here. This one says, Happy October, bring on the fun, bring on the stories. It's a great title page. October Stories. Oh, this card is gorgeous. You know, I'm thinking I might put little photos there. Measure this out, and instead of writing, add photos. I think that would be really cute. And then this is the marketing card that we get every month. It says, in the entire circle of the year, there are no days so delightful as those of a fine October. I like that. October is one of my favorite months. Fall is one of my favorite seasons, and I love the colors of fall. And so I predict that I'm going to have lots of pictures for the month of October. I didn't have very many for September. This is the chipboard set. I won't read everything, but I'll give you a chance to take a look at it. You got lots of yellows, oranges, and blacks, and that, I don't know, I guess it's like a linen color. That's very nice. And then we have the word phrases. This was in addition to the kit earlier in the year, as well as the wood veneers. The kit didn't come with these two items prior or in other years. These are the cutest little wood veneer pumpkins I've ever seen. These would be good for painting, using ink or distress ink, or even acrylic paint and painting them orange, yellow, maybe even like a green color or a cream color as well. That would be so cute. Alright, here are the 3x4 cards. Great Pumpkin, October Details. This font is so pretty. I absolutely love it. October is crisp days, cool nights, a time to curl up around the dancing flames and sink into a good book. The story, Halloween moments, and the story. Again, there's that font. Love these. Look how nice those are. And then, of course, we have the stamp set with the bat. October 31st, Happy Halloween, Love Autumn Adventures, and Halloween Moments. Very themed, and I've said it before, these kits are meant to be themed, not general use. Now, I typically don't get the add-ons, but this month I had to, because these cork leaves are absolutely beautiful. What I liked most about these were that What I liked most was that it had that white outline, that white detail, and I'm going to try not to hoard these. I'm going to try to use them all up. We'll see, but they're so, so pretty. I already have an idea for these. Alright, there you have it. There is the October kit, and if you are interested in seeing how I use this kit in my October pages, stick around. This is what I have left over from the kit. I have 3 of the cork leaves. This is what I have left over from the word phrases. 1 of the jack-o'-lantern wood veneer. A few pieces of chipboard, of course the stamp set. And this month I did use pieces from the Scrap Gals October kit or fall kit in some of the pages, and that's what I have left over. And then I have this 3x4 card. You'll have to excuse my voice, I'm catching a cold, but I did want to share this video with you guys anyway. I was inspired by the word phrase stickers to create the journaling in the spreads. And what I did was I created a text box in Photoshop and used black type to create my journaling, and it mirrors the word phrase stickers, and I thought that that looked really graphic and clean. I used it here as well, and I like the way that it came out. My first page includes the story of just being outdoors, my birthday, and my green thumb. I used those cork leaves here, and I sprinkled them throughout the rest of the pages as well. I colored the wood veneer pumpkins using these inks from Ali Edwards. I would recommend adding a light layer of the ink because otherwise it's going to take a really long time to dry. I have a process video at the end of this video if you're interested in seeing the process of me putting together these pages. I added a chipboard piece there to ground the pumpkin. This is one of the cards, actually this one and this one are both from the Scrap Gals Fall Monthly Subscriber Kit. This first insert tells the story of the weekend that we went to, family weekend, homecoming weekend at my son's college. For this card here, I really loved the colors. I felt like they were perfect for highlighting some of my fall decor. This card here is also from Scrap Gals, and it matched perfectly with this one from Ali Edwards. I resized these pictures in Photoshop to fit inside of the little boxes there, and then I just typed up my journaling. This insert includes a flip out. That was a royal pain in the butt because the washi tape that I used didn't work very well, and I had to redo it. And this is the final result. I used one of the stamp sets right there. I used more of those cork leaves. And then we move on to the Halloween pages. I kept things very simple, but I felt like the color combo was really, I don't know, very vibrant, and I like that. I just added a couple of chipboard pieces there, another wood veneer pumpkin. For this here, if you can see, I used a couple of pieces of the chipboard to act as a tab to flip over these pages. These were 3x4 cards that I trimmed down to 3x3 so that they could fit in the pocket, and then I added the journaling, which is on black with white type. I did that in Photoshop. Here's another example of how I created these strips to mimic the word phrases. I really like the way that came out. And just a couple of chipboard pieces there, or just one chipboard. These are some of my favorite pictures of the month. They're so vibrant, and we had a lot of fun that day. Again, right here, this card was 3x4. I trimmed it down, created this card using 3x3 cardstock. If you'll notice, this says Happy Halloween, and it is from the stamp set. I cut the stamp so that I could stack the words. It was too long for that 3x3 card, and it worked out perfectly. I added a few more chipboard pieces there. For this side of the spread, I used one of the Scrap Gals cards and added a wood veneer pumpkin in the middle, as well as one here. This is also journaling that I created in Photoshop. I created this see-through element using the leaves. Added a chipboard piece there, and that was it. Very simple. It wasn't time consuming, but because I was working through the month, I went back and forth a lot deciding where to put things, and you'll see that in the process video at the end. If you have any questions, please let me know. Stay tuned for pictures as well as the process video, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye. Now I'll just walk you through some of the process that I used to create the final pages. As I mentioned in the walkthrough video, I created my text boxes in Photoshop and cut them down in strips to add to my journaling cards. That middle card you see there is from the Scrap Gals subscriber kit, and next month I think what I'll do is I will print it on photo paper because I felt like it was a little washed out, the color was, and I think on photo paper it will look much brighter. Right now I'm just going through all of the pages and deciding where I want to add the wood veneer pumpkins as well as some of the chipboard pieces. I used Ali Edwards ink to color the pumpkins. Use a light tapping motion to color the pumpkins so that it will dry quicker. It is a pigment ink and can take really long to dry if you use a heavy layer. This is an example of the journal strips. I'm adding them to the Go Outside card. I've been really enjoying the typed look on my 3x4 journaling cards for the past, I don't know, maybe the past 3 or 4 months. It is more time consuming than just taking a pen to paper, but it's worth it to me because of the final look. It's just clean and graphic. I pulled out some letter stickers from my stash. They are from Ali Edwards, and so they match that green color, that ink, really nicely. It also matches the green in the wreath card there on the left. So I just added 2019 to that corner box. Right now I'm showing you how I created that see-through pocket using the cork leaves. I just used an extra piece of transparency and added the leaves. Initially I thought I would make it double-sided, but they are pretty thick and I decided that I would just make it one layer instead of two. Because on the back side you can't see the adhesive, you just see the shape of the leaf. I tried removing one of the leaves and broke off a piece of it. The adhesive on it is pretty strong. I would recommend being very careful in your placement so that you don't have to move them because you might break a piece off like I did. I really like the way it turned out. Moving on to one of the inserts from Halloween, I just used a 3x3 page protector. It's a size 9x12. The pockets are 3x3, and I trimmed off the top 3 and the bottom 3 rows, and I'm left with the 6 pockets. Those jack-o'-lanterns were a lot of fun making. The kids did it pretty much on their own, which is the first time that's ever happened. Usually their dad and I have to finish off the job for them, but they did good. They did it all on their own. Here's another example of that white background with black text to mimic the word strips. I thought about adding more word strips to these 4 photos, but in the end I only added it to the bottom 2. I left the top 2 pictures alone because there's a lot going on in those pictures anyway. I've been trying to use those word strips more often. They're not my go-to embellishment, and this one is my favorite because it's clean and got straight lines and the text is big enough and dark enough to read. Some of the other months are really hard. They're really small pieces and gray text. I'm just trying to decide the placement for the chipboard pieces for this insert, which includes a flip out. I usually thin down my chipboard, but I didn't for that piece because it's going to be on the outside of the page protector. along with those leaves. I had to redo that flip out. Here you can see that I am trimming down that wood veneer, not wood veneer, that chipboard piece. If you don't thin it down, what happens is it causes a lot of bulkiness in the album and therefore causes a lot of glare. There's one of the jack-o'-lanterns I'm adding to the corner of that 4x6 card. This video is sped up at 4. See, I had to redo that. It was a pain in the butt. There I am trimming down, thinning it out again. That one I think says October, yeah, it just says 31st. And then later I add one that says bring on the candy. That one there says blue. For this insert, I kept going back and forth about what to add. In the end, I didn't add anything to it. I felt like the orange was too much of a contrast for all of that blue that was in the picture. That wood veneer, why do I keep saying wood veneer? That chipboard piece says loving these things about October. Once I start adding those word strips, I just go to town with them and add them throughout the pages. And that's it. This is the final look at my October pages. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you spending some time with me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.